Today's reaction isn't going to be your average normal deep dive. This one is going to be a cave dive. We're going to be listening to the Ship Song by Nick Cave. So, welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm OGL Schmidt for Danny Lee OGT. I said we're going to be reacting. It's just me. Danny's going to be back soon. He's been under the weather lately. He's been dealing with a lot of things. I don't think the channel's the same without his amazing facial expressions and his charisma. So please join me in sending him some love. But as the great Freddie Mercury said, the show must go on. Now, I love me some Nick Cave. I'm a big fan of his work. I think he's a fascinating singer and songwriter. This is a song that I'm not terribly familiar with, and I've certainly never seen this live performance. This is from his 1990 album, The Good Son, and this was actually voted one of the 30 greatest Australian songs of all time by the Australasian Performing Right Association. I think I got that right. Let me know in the comments if I butchered it, and I apologize if I did. But Nick has he's just a very interesting human being. And I wanted to share something that he was asked on a newsletter, basically by a couple of aspiring artists named Tam and Dan. Basically, why bother creating? They weren't inspired. They felt that the world was a terrible place and didn't think that their art would help any. So he gave them a very long and very eloquent response. I just wanted to kind of share some highlights of that. Then we'll get right to the song. Yes, the world is sick, and yes, it can be cruel, but it would be a whole lot sicker and a whole lot crueler if it were not for painters and filmmakers and songwriters, the beauty makers, wading through the blood and muck of things whilst reaching skyward to draw down the very heavens themselves. These are perilous and urgent times. This is not the hour to sit around and moan about the condition of the world. Nor is it the moment to fruitlessly wait for inspiration to find us. It's time to get to work, to reach up and tear the divine idea from its heavenly cradle and proffer it to the world. Create, Tam. Create, Dan. Create like your life depends on it because, of course, it does. I, I love that. I've got that saved, and anytime I'm sort of feeling unmotivated, I I just read that, and it just sort of gives you that little. It gives your soul a kick in the ass, if you will. Anyway, this intro is getting long, so it's time for me to get my ship together and let us check out the Ship Song by Nick Cave. There we go. Look at that man's hair. That is a thing of beauty. Sorry.
The Ship Song. Come sail your ships around me and burn your bridges down. We make a little history, baby, every time you call around. Come loose your dogs upon me and let your hair hang down. You are a little mystery to me every time you call around. We talk about it all night long. We define our moral ground. When I crawl into your arms, well, everything, it comes tumbling down. Come sail your ships around me and burn your bridges down. We make a little history, baby, every time you call around.
So Nick has a distinct voice that is so expressive without him having to do a whole lot of obvious vocal technique. It's deep, it is resonant, there's a darkness to it, but also kind of tenderness, for lack of a better term, especially on this song. Like he can sound really mean. Just listen to how he sings "Red Right Hand." Those words in that song is like that's grit for ages. But here, it's it's interesting how the vocal melody is structured to where he begins every line. It feels like a couple seconds later than you expect it to, but it doesn't feel jagged or uh, it basically feels fluid. It doesn't feel haphazard or anything like that. Uh, I'm not. If you guys could let me know, I don't know how much training Nick has. I mean, obviously he's a fantastic singer, great pianist, uh, stunning songwriter, but I don't know if he's one of those guys that just has a natural feel or if he's studied and has kind of harnessed that with his own inner music. But when he took his voice up, it didn't go particularly high. I've never heard Nick sing really, really high. Like his range is not his strong suit. It's his expressiveness and that quiet authority. It's not always quiet either. It's the authority in his voice, that low tone, and just sort of how he structures a melody and how he adds these little bits of expression. Those are his strengths as a singer. Um, but when he took his voice up, like that tenderness started to come in, and there's this really nice even vibrato, which is why I say like I'm not sure how much training he has, or if he's just an intuitive artist. But yeah, his either mode that he's using his voice in, it's just super expressive and it draws you in. He's a great storyteller. Is basically what I've. That's the point I've been trying to plow towards. But I gotta go back, start it from the beginning again, so I can take in some more stuff. The lyrics are also interesting because it definitely seems like a love song. I've read in the comments for this, a lot of people, like a couple of people, have actually gotten married to this song. But there's a lot of interesting imagery. Come loose your dogs upon me, and let your hair hang down. Um, come sail your ships around me and burn your bridges down. Uh, in addition to everything else, Nick is he's a straight up poet, amazing wordsmith. So let's go back to the beginning.
The ship song.
Even his speaking voice has that resonance.
Come sail your ships around me and burn your bridges down. We make a little history, baby, every time you call around. Come loose your dogs upon me and let your hair hang down. You are a little mystery to me every time you call around. We talk about it all night long. We define our moral ground. When I crawl into your arms, well, everything, it comes tumbling ships around me and burn your bridges down. We make a little history, baby, every time you call around. Your face has grown sad now, for you know that the time is nigh when I must remove your wings, and you must try to fly. Come sail your ships.
It might be a little bit early for another pause. This is a very short song, but his delivery of that line, when I must remove your wings and you must try to fly. I'm I'm not quite sure where what he's getting at, for lack of a better term. I don't know what he's referencing with that. See, this is where I miss Danny. Danny was the lyric analyzer of the two of us. When I must remove your wings and you must try to fly. Like his voice had so much gravitas in there, and it seemed like a little bit of pain. So is this when I must remove your wings? Is he leaving her? Are they going? Are they separating permanently, temporarily? I don't know. He's implying that he's taking something away and seeing if she can continue to thrive. I'm not quite sure what that is. So in the comments, I'm interested in hearing y'all's interpretation of this lyric. Nick Cave has a knack for taking very sweet things and applying very dark imagery to them. So I'm going to back up a little bit, keep going, try to play it through the end this time. But his delivery on that, again, not a whole lot of extreme vocal technique or acrobatics, and not particularly rangy, but he gets so much expression out of that voice. All right, let's.
Now, for you know that the time is nigh when I must remove your wings, and you must try to fly. Come sail your ships around me and burn your bridges down. You are a little mystery to me every time you call around. Come loose your dogs upon me, let your hair hang down. We make a little history, baby, every time you call around. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot.
That is actually one of my favorite Nick Cave songs, the Weeping song. That, as far as like just showcasing the sound of his voice, that's amazing. Hopefully, we'll be reacting to that soon. But I definitely want Danny with me here as well because I've heard that song so many times. So, ship song. It seems to me that the song is about a fleeting and fiery affair. Come sail your ships around me, like the whole idea of two ships passing in the night. These two entities on this vast plain finding each other, and he says, "You're a mystery every time you come around. Come loose your dogs upon me," which suggests like a hunt or tracking someone down. And then when I must remove your wings and you must try to fly, that is basically okay. We had our fun. Now we go our separate ways, and let's see what happens. Uh, wow, uh, beautiful imagery in the lyrics. There's again, both sweetness and darkness there. And I'll say this about Nick Cave's voice. I've talked about the sound of it, which again, he's got one of my favorite just vocal tones, and he definitely knows how to write stuff that plays into that strength. He actually started as a punk rocker with the Birthday Party, and you can tell in stuff like the Mercy Seat or something like that. He can still get heavy and he can get vicious when he wants to. But whatever he's doing, whatever he's singing, Nick Cave will put his entire being into it. So he doesn't need to be going through the four octaves. I don't know what kind of range this song was. Uh, there's a really nice lower register, and he seemed to sort of like slowly climb up, but it never like he was hitting falsetto or like tenor range. But that sound was so, it's so resonant and so compelling, and he just puts every single fiber of his being into what he's doing vocally, and that's why he's been doing what he's doing. That's why he is. Yeah, that's how good he is. He literally severed the part of my brain that allows me to speak coherently. Nick Cave is really good. That's what I'm trying to say. He's been doing this for a very long time at a very high level. He's still going, and yeah, amazing songwriter. The world needs more. See, I was gonna say the world needs more Nick Caves, but I he's a rarity. He's unique. I don't think the world could maybe sustain a whole lot of Nick Caves, and I think that's a beautiful thing in its own way. So thank you guys very much for uh, watching this, and Benny will be back soon. Definitely looking forward to reacting to some more of Nick Cave, some more. We love Barnsey and Farnsey for all you Aussies out there, but we're definitely looking to expand. Some more Delta Goodrums, some Midnight Oil, some more of those 30 greatest Aussie songs ever recorded. Definitely looking forward to reacting to some of those. We got some more debuts coming on the channel, and it's a new Nightwish song coming out. Their first in a very, very long time, few years, and we definitely want to be reacting to that. So cool things coming in Custom Creator. Try saying that 5 times fast. Thank you very much for your time, guys. I am OGL Schmidt for Danny Lee OGT. Once again, send Danny some love, and I'll be seeing you guys again very soon.